with coverage you can count on. Now your First Warn 5 forecast with meteorologist Bryan Bachman.
All right, good evening, everyone. Very happy Tuesday to you. Our weather, well, it took a decidedly unsettled turn out there today with plenty of showers rolling through for most of the day. Cold front swinging through also brought the winds up out of the southwest there, and also brought in some of those cooler temperatures too. Now we're going to stay in the 50s, it looks like, at least until tomorrow, so not a terribly pronounced effect with this cold front, but later in the week, that's when things will really start to change. Here's a look at your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar tonight. And most of us getting the chance to finally begin to dry out. Maybe a few lingering patches of drizzle in a few spots, but as you can see here on your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar, from the thumb over toward the Tri-Cities to Flint, everyone looking to be in pretty good shape tonight as the roads gradually get a chance to dry out. Just in time, of course, for that evening commute. Also had a chance today to stop by the Monitor Township Town Hall, one of the many polling places for the Weather in Your Neighborhood segment that we do. And didn't seem like the weather there was impacting voter turnout too much, but across the rest of the region, of course, that could have been a different story, but we can see as we dry out this evening, things finally starting to at least trend in the right direction. Here's a look at how things are shaping up tonight. Over downtown Saginaw with the overcast conditions firmly in place. You can see a relatively busy 675 there in the distance. The temperature's cooling down to about 49 degrees. You factor in those winds, making it feel about 5 degrees cooler in the mid 40s. And you can see why with a west-southwest wind at about 14 miles per hour. Pretty much the same story this evening in Bay City. Not the nicest night to be out and about for a walk, but if you are, make sure you bundle up. Current temperature 49 degrees there. And our last stop in Flint tonight, 53 degrees, so at least still staying in the low 50s there, but the roads at least starting to get the chance to dry out as they become a little bit busier. Here's a look at some of the temperatures elsewhere, and a lot of us down into the 40s at this point. 49s for Bad Axe, Caro to Owasso as well. 48 for you in Alma this evening. Middle 40s in Mount Pleasant tonight, and low 40s as you head to the north around Houghton Lake, where it is currently 43 degrees. You factor in these winds, and they've certainly picked up in the wake of that cold front, blowing mostly out of the southwest to even some westerly directions now, anywhere between about 15 to even 20 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25 to 30 in a few spots. So no surprise here. The real feel in the air much closer to the mid 40s, as we mentioned, around the Tri-Cities and into the thumb. Head a little farther north where it's cooler as it is, and it feels closer to the middle and upper 30s. Definitely a good night to break out the heavier sweatshirt. On your First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, there goes that last band of showers, lingering drizzly areas. What's going to happen over the next 24 hours, however, is this drier air you see over parts of the plains. That's all going to start the process of migrating eastward. So by tomorrow, we'll break into some pretty nice bouts of sunshine, a few passing clouds too. But the longer range effects, a little farther to the north taking shape here. We have a little dip in the jet stream, which is, of course, that steering current that pushes all those storms eastward. Also traps a lot of that Arctic air farther to the north. And what's going to happen is this dip you see here, it's actually going to become a bit more pronounced over the next several days. And essentially, you can kind of envision it here, it's almost going to act like a little bit of a slide. And we're going to see a series of smaller disturbances roll into the region starting on Thursday, likely taking us as far out as Monday or Tuesday, and that's going to bring some wet and maybe even wintry mixed precipitation by the time we get to the latter half of the weekend. On your First Warn 5 hour-by-hour forecast tonight, however, we'll get a break from the showers. That is until tomorrow, where we'll start to see, at least tomorrow evening, I should say, where they start to push their way back into the region. And then here's Thursday at 8 p.m., a little farther out, you can see just kind of an unsettled end to the second half of the week. 38 the overnight low tonight with those decreasing clouds. It will remain breezy. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll talk more about what looks to be a much drier Wednesday, and it'll be a nice break considering where we're headed with some showery days ahead, likely from Thursday all the way out to Tuesday.
Wow.
Things are changing for sure.
We'll take that one day, I guess. Thank you.
Enjoy.